minus 5 minutes. Minus 4 minutes. T minus 3 minutes. Minus 2 minutes. Minus 1 minute. T minus 30 seconds. Minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Alright everybody, welcome. Hopefully this works. I just have my earpiece in right now just to make sure, and then I'm going to take that out because it's going to confuse me. Perfect, okay, so you can hear me. Alright. Alright gentlemen, and ladies if there is any. Today is March. We are actually going to be going through a couple more questions and stuff like that. It's going to be another question period. I'm going to try and stop saying and ahs. I was told that apparently that's what I've been doing. So it's apparently a drinking game in my house. Just did it. Okay, so basically we're going to start off with letting people know. Oh, got my GoPro ordered. Send it back. You want to buy an Insta360 or you want to buy an Osmos? Can't remember what the number is, but those are the numbers that those are the cameras you're going to want to get. GoPro sucks. That's my opinion. Okay, vlog soon would be kind of cool, man. I'm excited for that. The more the merrier. I'm actually going to touch on that in this episode, right? So, okay, so what we're going to end up doing, he got a Hero 7. Okay, I mean the Hero 7's decent. The Hero 8 was okay. The Hero 8 Black was okay. That's what I had, and it's lasted quite a bit of time, but it has heating problems, right? It was cheap and to get me started. True, fair enough. Okay, so basically, we're going to go through a bunch of the questions I got through. These were sent through email. This is sent through on the channel. Different places kind of thing. So we're going to end up going through the first thing. The first thing, guy says, I have a faulty front master cylinder on my 2018 CMX 500, Rebel 1100, ABS. Going to do a swap over. Is there anything I should know ahead of time? Will it affect the ABS in any way? Just swapping from it for a non-leaky OEM one. It's not a very common thing to have a master cylinder leaking, so be curious of why it's leaking. If it's just a seal, you could probably get away with just doing the seal, but if it's leaking internally, like through the valves, that makes sense. You can rebuild them. It's a little bit more cost effective just to replace it. Okay, so is there any difference, or is there any issues that you're going to think, or that you'd have, like going through the actual replacement? No. If you know how to do a brake fluid flush, it's essentially the same thing. So you just want to make sure that you get all the air out of the system, and you're going to have a lot of minor, like micro bubbles in it, and the best way to do that is if you bleed the system and then clamp it down with, people have used elastic bands, a zip tie works, and you're going to want to hold that brake lever down overnight. Once that does that, it just kind of lets all those little tiny air bubbles get past. Best thing to do is to make sure that the system's out. You can bleed the master as well. You don't typically need to, the ABS actuator. You can bleed the ABS actuator. It's a little bit more difficult. With these units, you don't typically need to do that. Just make sure that you top it up and bleed the system, bleed it from the master, and all you're doing is topping up at that point. Alright, so that was that question. Okay. Alright, 2 seconds. Alright. What up, dog? There you go, Navi Mac Life. Actually, last live, they actually got me to check you out. It's actually kind of neat. That's how I actually seen you. So, good channel, man. I actually enjoy your channel. It's pretty interesting. Okay, so let's go on to the next questions. Again, any questions, concerns, throw it through the chat. I'll get through that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so Rebel 1100 updates. Okay, what my thoughts are on that. I had the pleasure of going to the motorcycle show, and I finally got to actually see one in person. The updates are remarkable. If you didn't buy the 1100 or you waited on that, that is absolutely perfect, because the updates that they ended up doing this year, I'm excited for. I'm happy I waited. So I'm kind of hoping that they add in the e-clutch maybe next year. There's no kind of hint to that, but it makes sense. They have all this stuff for it. So I know Honda likes to kind of hold back on a few things, and try it in a few things. They have it on the CB and the CBR, the 650. They have the technology to do it on the Rebel. I'm not sure why they don't, minus the fact that they already have the DCT. So, I mean, it's different completely, but I get it. As far as the seat position, I was saying last time, I was kind of worried that they were moving it forward, and I don't really like forward controls, but surprisingly, it feels actually more natural. It's pretty interesting. Basically, if you have a chance, go and sit on it. The seat's better than stock. Most people replace the seat anyways, but you don't typically have to, I think, on this, because it's a lot better. It is, and anybody that I've actually talked to about that actually has one, has stated that they actually don't need to replace the seat, which is kind of neat. So that's cool. Again, seat position, the bars feel like it's a little different. The controls are completely different. They're not the same in any way. They've done a lot of moving around things. You have that square or the rectangle dash, and that is kind of neat. That's one of the reasons why I'm thinking they're going to be doing the e-clutch. It makes more sense that they're going to actually, because it has that stuff, right? Kind of like the 650R. The other day. Oh, you did sit on the 1100 the other day. Honestly, it's a fantastic thing. I put it kind of more to. So the Rebel 1100 originally had mid controls kind of like the 500. Your legs were a little bit farther apart than the 500, obviously. The difference basically with the 1100 now versus before is they moved it forward. They were the foot position a little bit forward, and it's more to Harley mid controls, if that makes sense. So if you've ever had the chance to jump on a Lowrider ST or a Lowrider S, your feet are a little bit forward for a mid control. That's kind of where they fit, and it actually fits better. I don't think anybody. I kind of think it's gonna actually remove people's kind of want to do forward controls, to be honest. For a guy that likes mid controls, like myself, it's perfect. It's fine, and I think people that have the want to do forward controls might actually skip out now, which is kind of neat. I'm interested on that. Okay, let's see. Keeping the 500 for commuting and buying an adventure bike eventually. Okay, you have any ideas of what adventure bike you're looking at? The 500 is actually a pretty unique bike. Like my 500 has like 80,000 kilometers on it, and I mean, I've never really had a problem with it. It's going strong, and I've never had to fix anything really, just maintenance stuff. Africa Twin, eesh, that'd be pretty nice. Tall, they're like really tall. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so channel updates. Interesting question. In the wintertime, we kind of release a bunch of the maintenance and the how-tos and stuff like that. Summer times is more like events and stuff like that that I'm doing. Biggest updates, I can't say. It hopefully by the end of this month, so the next live stream, if I keep the live streams going, you'll know then, hopefully. I can't really say anything. But yeah, stay tuned. I do have a lot in the works. There is a lot in the behind the scenes, so I'm excited for that. But yes, Jeremiah, you are my #1 fan. Okay, so any questions and concerns? Again, post them in the chat. I will get to them as well. I'm just going to go through the list though. Okay, so that was that. That's updates. I really can't tell you. Best mod for my Rebel. Again, I get this question quite often. It depends on the individual. Like for me, the question is directed to me. I always say suspension. Suspension has changed that bike completely. It is not like if you were to jump on a regular 500 and then jump on mine, it's almost like you're riding a different bike. Power and stuff like that's the same, but the way the bike feels, the way it like acts, it's a lot different. Bang for buck, I would say that the suspension would be your #1 thing. It is expensive though, unfortunately. A lot of people have asked me whether or not you can do just the rear or do the front. I mean, if you can only do one, I would do the rear, but it does. If you do the rear, the front really shows how bad it is. But, okay, so that's that. I mean, there's a lot of other mods and stuff like that that I really do enjoy on the bike. I was asked earlier, not through this, but whether or not I'd actually do like a full kind of one-over on my bike and what I have done to it. I don't know what they call that. That's actually a different type of video, but I probably will do one of them towards the end of this season. I have a bunch of things again in the works. I am working with a couple companies, and that stuff will be coming out shortly. But again, it is what it is. Okay, worst. Other question that I got from the same guy actually was the worst mod on my Rebel. I mean, I don't really do a mod on my bike unless I like it. Worst mod. I don't really have one. I would probably say this side swing arm bag. I don't really use it. So, I mean, I do use it enough for like rags and like everyday things, but I would probably get better use of like a bag in with the fairing. It would be the same thing in that aspect. So, hey y'all, hope you're having a great day. Yeah, man, NRT, that's nice, dude. Hope you're having a good day as well. I really like to translate. Actually, they had one at the bike show. If you've never taken or put your leg over top of one, try it, man. It's actually a really unique bike. I really like it, and the look of it's actually pretty nice. Okay. Yep. Okay, so that's caught up on there. All right. A few people have actually asked me this question as well. What would you suggest the best start would be to a YouTube channel? I'm a very small channel, so I can't really speak to what works. I do it because I enjoy the process, and I enjoy the mechanical side of things. So I'm a tech, so I know how to do it. So and then I kind of do the videos like I'm teaching an apprentice, like one of my apprentices, and it works a little bit better, kind of explaining how things work, kind of simplified. There are times that I I don't actually hit the nail on the head, or I miss a step that I don't post, again, anybody kind of point out that, I will fix that. That's fine. Nate's Vlogs. My goodness, dude. Thanks, Nate. Love my 1100 Rebel. Nice to see you streaming after yesterday's. Yes, yes. Yesterday, I was supposed to stream yesterday, and yeah, me and my computer were not having fun. I use a program, and that program did not want to take my audio, so that's unfortunate. But thank you very much. As far as, okay, so back to YouTube channel kind of thing. Do it for yourself. Do it for the process. Don't think you're gonna make money on it, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of people that do it because they think they're gonna make money. It's really not a money maker, unless you have a very large viewership. There's a few guys like Mike, or sorry, like Birch, and he has a very big YouTube audience, and he does well. So I think that guys that can do it as like a YouTube only thing is really, really cool to be able to do that. I don't think I could ever just do YouTube. So even if I was as successful as Birch, I don't think I would get rid of my job. I enjoy what I do, so even on the bad days when I want to strangle everyone. But all right, secondary question to that is it worth it? Again, based off of whether or not you're doing it for the right reasons, in my opinion. That changes that, right? So if you are doing it again for, I don't know, money or fame or whatever like that, it's not the proper way to do it. Not the proper way to look at it. I like helping people, and if I can help somebody save a little bit of money at the dealership, it's perfect. I went for fun. My first oil change I got done through Honda, and I had to do a bunch of stuff afterwards. So they ended up coming in. Basically, what they do in the first service is basically doing a PDI over again. So checking chain tension, checking cables, and checking a bunch of things, right? Again, it's all done through the tech. The tech is, if he's busy, he's going to skip things. That's just the reality of it. He's not writing it, you are. And then the other thing that I noticed is the cost is crazy. So that first oil change was like $180, and it was essentially an oil change. They did change a lot of things like cable adjustments and stuff like that. Like, it's almost like they did it just to prove that they did something, because it was out of alignment. Like it wasn't even spec. So it was weird. It was like I got the bike back and it was worse. But I mean, it's up to you, right? If you can use the videos that I provide to kind of figure or make yourself a little bit more comfortable with actually being able to do it, that's the reason why I do it. So last question that I have on this list is the Rebel 1100 crash bars with forward controls, and they had the Depreto Moto forwards. Okay, so that's another problem with the forwards. So forwards, there's not a lot of companies that use like the ability to do forwards. There is a few that use the same bolt. So if you have, so the top, or I guess the most forward bracket, which goes to the lower mount, it kind of goes through, right? If you use that that bolt, and you have to modify, because you'd have, like, let's say you're using a 1/4 inch steel, or that's what they're using for the bracket, you'd have to trim that off of the shims that they have, right? So basically what they do is they have like a bar, and you have basically the puck or the stopper or whatever. They have like a basically they have like a shim, then the bolt goes through, and then there's another shim in the bracket, right? So the puck. those shims you'd have to trim down if you're going to have that bracket there, because you would not have that typically, right? So you could probably get away with companies like Burley brand. They have like that top one that goes through. You might be able to use that. I've never tried it yet, so maybe I'll kind of squeeze Rob's face. Maybe he end up doing that on his. But yeah, that's pretty much the only one that you can think. Everything else, though, it kind of, I mean, even the Burley brand might have this, but it comes right by where that shifter is. So bringing the shifter down, you might have to switch it to a heel toe. But again, I'm looking into that. I will post that if I find a solution to that. Watch my videos to be better at what you do. Yes, you do. Good thing I don't do Lego videos, right? So basically, you watch my videos after I break something to see how I was supposed to do it. Yeah, yes. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking through. Hey Slate, hold on a second. Hey Slate, I love all your videos. I use them for many of us. Yeah, man, that's why I do it, man. That's I mean, that's the whole point, right? So, anyways, okay. So let's see whether or not I have anything else that has come through email. Any other questions or concerns? Again, post them up here, and then we'll go from there. Let me just check. Blah, 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 blah. I went through that a lot faster. All right. Sorry. Okay, so there was one more question. That was through email. Why I have not gotten the 1100 yet. I will eventually get one. I'm kind of wanting to get to 100K on the 500, and I'm pretty close. I kind of want to prove the fact that the Rebel 500 has no problems. That engine, that whole trim, they've done a really good job with that. Honda has, like, I mean, they have that engine's in quite a few different different models of bikes, but it's been fantastic. My stock Dunlops are done, and I can't say I enjoyed them. Michelin Commanders is what I'm thinking. Okay, so the Dunlops, the stock Dunlops on the Rebels are atrocious. The 500, they were crap. The 1100s are even worse. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, the 1100s actually separate. So down the center of it, it starts to crack, and but yes. So I've used so the Dunlops I had on mine, I got about 10K out of the rear, almost 20 out of the front, and then I've used the Commander 3s, the Michelin Commander 3s. I'm on my second set now, and I have 80,000. So I mean, you get a lot more bang for your buck. So it is a little bit more expensive to do the tire, but you are getting a longer lasting tire, and the performance of that tire is day and night. You are going to see an immediate difference when you do put those tires on. But remember, if you're going to do it yourself, check those wheel bearings. If you do not check the wheel bearings, you're going to cause a lot of problems. You'll never get that balance properly, and you can get away with the rear kind of out of balance. It might shake a little bit, but that front, you do not want a tank slapper caused by imbalance. Okay. Flat foot. Sorry, I missed that. The Transalp, whatever, blah blah blah. You couldn't flat foot it, and I'm 6'1" and 32-inch seat. Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. They do have pretty tall bikes at the Adventure Touring. Actually, I have a video coming out soon about a Triumph, was it 850? Basically it's the Tiger, maybe it's a 950. So I did a lower end kit. So the gentleman that owned it is the same height as me, and he couldn't put his feet on the ground. And I mean, you can get away with just having 1 foot on the ground, but 1 foot on the ground with your tippy toe kind of sucks. It's doable, but it sucks. Okay, and let's check one more. Any other questions and concerns, you can always post it up. Um, ba, 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 ba. Okay, where's mod, whatever. Companies that I've used that, yeah, okay. So the question came through, what was the companies that I have worked with that I do not, or that I did not release the video for? I will never post that. If you were to talk to me about something, like email me and say, hey, I'm looking at this, if there was a negative output, I would explain that to you, but I'm not going to crap on a company that I did not like their product, because it's my opinion, and your opinion could be different than mine. Okay, so I won't actually basically crap on a company. They at least sent me the product for me to review or do an install on. If I did not like the install or the video or the product itself, what I do is I send it to the company, and if they, because I'm honest in everything I'm doing, if I don't like it, you're gonna know it. So those companies that I've done that to, I've literally said I'm not happy with the product, and they've chosen not to, or they wanted me to kind of hold it off, and I respect them on that, and they take my feedback, and whether or not they listen to it or not, it's up to them. All right. I made it. Rob, how are you? You made it at the end of it. But what's the last question? Okay. Actually, you know what, Rob? Maybe if you can post this through. I don't know whether or not you've actually talked or checked into Ford controls, or you have the Depreto Motos, whether or not there is actually a crash protection kit that you have looked into. I have not found one. So, all right. Another thing I actually wanted to talk to everybody about is whether or not the live streams are something you guys are wanting me to continue on, or if I do it like either every other month or every third month. So again, it's up to you guys. Questions actually came in pretty good today, so I'm okay with that. Sometimes it's not the company, but simply a bad product. Yeah, I mean, so basically the way I look at it is, if the product, so say the company is whatever, right? Let's say Logi, all right? And it's a product that I don't like, doesn't mean the company's bad, right? So, and that's kind of the point, right? And if they want to change it, like, that's everything. From helmets to gloves to gear to like products on the motorcycle, right? Every company has their growing pains, and every company has products that are great and some that aren't. So look at for example, the Rebel, right? Everybody that wanted the Rebel 1100 first had a problem with that oil leak, right? And sometimes even now you have that oil leak. It doesn't mean the Rebel 1100 is a bad bike. It just means that it has a problem that people have found solutions for. And, I mean, Honda takes that information and fixes it, right? That's kind of the point, right? What is your favorite YouTuber, motorcycle related or not? Okay, so I watch a lot of YouTube. The main reason why I actually did a YouTube channel was I was looking for basically what's out there, and some of the videos I seen were crazy scary. I've always brought the one to my attention is a guy doing a air filter on the Rebel 500, and he took the battery cable off, and it was sparking, and I'm like, what are we doing? You're gonna hurt somebody, right? Somebody's gonna actually look at that and go, oh no, and then, eesh, right? But I've looked at quite a few different YouTubers, motorcycle related. I mean, there's a lot that I like, all the way down to the boys in Florida, right? So like, Blockhead, I really enjoyed his thing. Even when, like, I used to watch him when he had his little small garage. He used to do it actually in a parking lot, but he ended up doing his giveaways and stuff like that. And he started drilling some, I think it was for a gauge cluster or whatever, and then drilled his finger. So, so I mean, I like the human element to it. It's kind of fun. You're not going to get that in like a how-to video kind of thing, like a typical one. But yeah, I like the giveaway thing. That's a cool idea. There is Jericho Campese. I kind of like that, but he's a Ducati dude. There is, again, obviously the Rebel community guys. So obviously Mike, or Life of Birch. Sorry, I keep on saying his name. Life of Birch. I mean Quasi-Motard. Like obviously, like Jeremiah. Gus, right? A lot of those guys. It's a kind of a small knit community. It's pretty neat. But yeah, anything else? I just like to kind of like search around and try and figure it out. But those would be probably my top kind of guys. Blah, 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 blah. So, answer from Rob on the actual forward controls, the crash protection. Upper crash bars that will fit. Rear is same as typical. Sliders will work, but the upper guards, like the engine guard, that could work, but might not take a bit. Okay, so I mean, without actually screwing around with it, it doesn't really seem like there's anything there. Are you planning on going to any bike weeks this year? No. The Daytona Bike Week I think it's happening now, and it's a lot for me to go down. Like, I do live in Canada, and going down to the States for like a bike week, it's a lot of work. Plus I work like 5 days a week at least. So blah, 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 blah. Yes. So basically, ride at a lifetime, right? So Jeremiah goes, like me with my oil leak, and I need good tech from Canada to help me. You can come up and friggin' we'll screw around with the bike, dude. We'll make a video out of it. What's the best life advice? Ooh, look at this guy going deep. Best life advice you have ever been given. I have been given fantastic life advice. Basically, the ones that kind of stuck was, today, even if you fail today, tomorrow is an opportunity to succeed. So if you're having a bad day, you look at it and go, you know what, today is done, it's over, let's friggin' get going for tomorrow. If you kind of are stuck in a rut, it will affect you in your future, and that's just kind of how it works, right? The best, okay, so blah, 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 blah. I got bar and mirrors for my 500, and because it was so darn hard to drill out, I've only done the left side. Do you have any suggestions to help me drill the throttle side? So the 1100 is fun because they already have threaded rod there. The 500, you literally have to drill that out, and that drill out weight sucks. A good drill bit, and use a lot of like a drill lubricant, or like an oil or some sort, because you don't want those filings going in. Okay. Yeah, yeah. God gave you two hands to pet two dogs at once. Very good. I like that. That's a good one. All right. All right. Check, check, check. Yeah, I probably will be doing 2 events in the U.S. at least, and that will be the Life of Birch meet and Jeremiah's meet. So that is what we're looking for. Rob, that's actually one of my favorite quotes as well. Best advice: never argue with stupid people because they are stupid. They don't know they're stupid. I mean, that's tough, but I mean, even smart people are stupid. That's just kind of how it works. Just because you know a lot about one thing doesn't mean you know a lot about everything. Like that. Okay. And then let's go back to this. Weird question. OEM oil changes. Okay, so I did state I went up a weight on the 500 and the 1100. That is not me just making up my own ideas. That is that is literally Honda telling me this. It is a trick that Honda has noticed. If you go further down in the States, or warmer climates, if you use their regular oil that they've asked you to, it will become an oil burner. They do put a heavier weight oil in it, and it just keeps things going. Yes, Rob needs to get his certificate so he can go to the States with me. But we do have actually a pretty nice community. It's kind of nice. I enjoy speaking to pretty much anybody. If you see me out, just stop and say hi. Actually, I seen a guy at the motorcycle show. Actually, it was kind of weird. He stopped me and it was weird because I didn't have any slight moto stuff on me. So I was like, all right, how did you know me? But okay. Exhaust. So there was actually on the Rebel, I think it was the Honda Rebel group, the one that I moderate on, that there was a person that asked me how to make, or asked the community, how do you make a Rebel, so I think it was 1100 actually, sound quieter than stock. I don't know there is even an option for that. There's a lot of people saying, "Oh, get the Sorted GP." That's not quieter than stock. That's a lot louder. But quieter than stock. I mean, the stock exhaust is pretty quiet. You're not gonna get a lot there. Not quieter, anyways. They do need to actually produce a Yoshimura exhaust for the 1100, but I've not heard anything. I've even asked Life of Birch to at least contact with them, but no luck there. I'll get around to it. Yeah, of course you will. Okay. All right. Blah blah blah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So I do have cable. Okay. So the question is, how do I do a cable lube? New cables are actually a lot better than like the older bikes, but yes, it is still good to do a cable lube. I do have a video coming out on that, probably about a month and a half away. Hopefully that will help with that question. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's basically there's like a little kit that you can get, and all it is spraying lubricant down into the cable, and you just move the cable up and down, kind of. Take the cable off. It's easier to do it that way, but yes, yes. Um, I was talking about the community we have for YouTube, and I said that we all cheer for each other, and a win for you is a win for me. There's no ego, and we care about each other. Yes, that is one of the best things about this community. The doesn't matter how big of a YouTuber you are. It does not matter. So if you're thinking about getting into this, I highly recommend it. Even if you're just videoing your experiences when you're riding with your buddies, it's kind of unique to be able to bring a camera along and just kind of live it again, kind of thing. And you do see a lot of weird things, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, if you're wanting to post it, and you're just getting out into it, and I see you, I will shout you out. I think it's important to kind of get the community going, and I think it's pretty good. I have a shorty GP on my it's logger and ladder stock. Yes, it is. Yes. But yeah. Okay, and then last questions. There's two more questions. Okay. Weird question. I'm going to buy a new camera. It's funny, we were talking about this earlier. I'm buying a new camera. I'm thinking about going with a GoPro. I don't like GoPro, even though I use it. My camera that I use right now is a GoPro. I am hopefully replacing that shortly. And it is not something like GoPro. The overheating, the amount of data that I've lost because, you drive or you're riding around, you're recording, and all of a sudden it just clonks out. All of your video or your audio are now gone, and it doesn't seem like they care to get better. They have not been upgrading it. Where like Insta360 and a couple of the other cameras and stuff that have been actually doing a very good job with that. They're listening to the community and actually trying to increase their product, right? And that's what needs to happen, right? You need competition and you need to get better. That's why, we have the bikes and stuff we have today is because competition, right? Pushing the envelope. But yeah. And then, all right, so there was one question here, the last one that I have on this list, and that is what issues have I had with the Rebel 500? And honestly, I have not had an issue at all, knock on wood, because Honda makes a great product. I mean, I've put that through the ringers. I am not nice to that bike. I do kind of rev her out, and I do have some fun with it, but it's not a fast bike by any means, but it does its job, and it just takes it with a smile. So I'm pretty impressed with it. So GoPro got too big for its shoes. Yes, I would agree with that. That's unfortunate. Yeah, okay, perfect. That's what I was talking about, right? So Jeremiah just posted that he's watched his videos just to review his experience. And I mean, I do that from time to time, even some of mine. It's nice to be able to kind of relive it or look through it, and I mean, it's always nice to your winter months right now, so it's nice to be able to pretend you're on a bike. Honda will be my next car for sure. Yeah, man, my old little Honda is working pretty good. Wife gets the Acura, I get the old beat up Honda. Not fair. But I do like it. I drive, my winter beater is a 93 Honda Del Sol. So it has a LS engine in it, so it's a fun little daily. Um, Honda Rebel 500 built Ford Tough. My goodness, dude. um, Thankfully, I've not had any issues with my GoPro. I mean, you will. um, I don't wanna jinx you, but I've never met somebody that didn't have a problem with a GoPro. So hopefully, you're the one. I've watched yours the other coming to see me. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. You just wanted to see yourself dance. um, yeah. So I mean, some of the video vlogs and stuff like that I have is kind of fun to rewatch for myself because it does a pretty good job for putting you back there, right? But yeah, okay. So that is all the questions and stuff that I have. Uh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Any more questions or concerns? I will post this up and I will give it a couple minutes and then we're going to close it up. So we will see whether or not anybody else brings up anything and then we'll go from there. But yeah, the 1100 though, I'm pretty... Oh, hold on. What's your favorite video you've ever made? Ooh. It depends. It really depends. What's the most entertainment that I've got while making it is probably my first time going down to the Life of Birch video, because my personality is a little weird, right? I kind of enjoy doing silly, stupid things, and I started that one out with more of a, because I had to wake up at, I think he had a live stream, and then he's like messaging, and I'm like, well, I gotta go to bed, right? And he ended up posting, dude, you're still awake, you should go to bed. Well, then I had to leave, I think at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I left that day to go down, and it was like raining and cold. It was just miserable, right? And then I went down, and I recorded a little bit. I wasn't sure what to expect because I've never actually done that trip or that length of trip, to be that honest. Not on the 500, right? And it was surprisingly really comfortable. It did a really good job. I was actually pretty impressed with it, and I didn't know, like because it was like on the weekend and stuff, so nothing was really open. So like I was trying to find gas stations. Ridiculous. It was like, but yeah, it was pretty fun. That video I would probably say is one of my favorite videos. I do like the event things. I do like making them. They don't do as well on the channel. The channel is more focused on the how-to and stuff, but okay. I don't know what he just posted, but anyways, basically I enjoy those. The channel, although, is the how-to, so it kind of goes against the actual channel, so it doesn't do as well, but I enjoy it. Okay. Will you be getting a Rebel 1100 or Lowrider ST? Was it a year ago, put a deposit down on a Lowrider ST, and then plans changed with me and my wife's situation. She went back to school, so it was not responsible for me to do that, so I said no. I pulled that away, and then I went, you know what, it wouldn't make sense for the channel anyways. I really do like the Harley Lowrider ST. It's just I have more fun on the Rebel 1100, if that makes sense. It's a more it fits better for me, and it's a very capable bike, right? It's different in every measure from the 500, but it is, again, something that I probably would do. Dave Miller is here. Dave, how are you, buddy? Suggestion on a good bike cover. Honestly, there are a lot of companies that use bike covers, and I have just a Amazon special bike cover because my bike doesn't sleep outside. So right now it's actually at the shop, and then when it's at my place, it's in a garage. So I would have to look into that for you. I'm not sure the Amazon special would be as good for the outside, if that makes sense. You won't recognize Tim's bike after you see it. Well, first of all, it's not Tim's bike anymore, it's yours. And I'm now curious, what did you do to this thing? Doco Guardian Weatherall is the cover you have. Yeah, okay, so I would probably look at what he's like, or Ride of the Lifetime, what he's actually stating, because he would have more information as far as that goes, because his bike sleeps outside. He doesn't like his bike. Yeah, okay, so if you're only using the bike cover for dust and stuff, which is essentially what I use the bike cover for, then yeah, an Amazon special one is perfectly fine. I could probably find you a link to what I'm using. It's just a cheap, I think it was 20 bucks. Like, it wasn't a big deal. But that works. Now I'm curious of what he did to Tim's bike. That's not fair. You can't tease me like that. Anyways, okay, so I think that's pretty much it. I'm looking through. Okay. Yeah, okay, so I think that's pretty much it for that. If anybody else has one last question, give that 2 seconds. Okay. All right, gentlemen. It was very nice to sit down and chat with everybody. It was something I actually do enjoy, communicating with people on bikes. What can we expect from the future live streams? Devin. So basically, the live streams, how I do the winter ones, is how I have planned. Is more of a question period kind of thing. In the summertime, I'm going to be working on the bike while I do it. It's just a little bit more true to the channel. This, I'm just kind of sitting down in my little kind of work area. So, okay. Alright, gentlemen, I'm going to call it quits from now, and we will see you guys next time. I appreciate you guys swinging by and saying hi. And, yeah. So, if you did not like or subscribe, you need to like and subscribe. And then have a good one, guys.